All right, can you guys hear me? This looks a little weird. I'm gonna have to adjust my settings here. That's why we wanted to start this a little bit early. This looks messed up for you guys too, right? You're only getting like kind of the corner of the picture here. Hey, Carolus, how's it going? Yeah, it's my first time using. This is actually the OBS software because I wanted to do the split screen with the Eclipse in one point, but this is dog poo. We'll fix her up. Don't worry. All right, I just tried moving the sun over. Let's see what that does. Oh, look at that. She moved over. Awesome. You'd almost think I knew what I was doing here. How you guys liking that view of the top of my head? There we go. Hello. There's the bucket. There we go. The bucket's the real star of the show, boys. All right. Let's give that a look for a second. Then I'm going to try out the second cam. The second cam just has the sun in it. All right, good enough. I can actually put my feet in my shoes. We got my tablet here. so I can read chat. I had to use my laptop for one screen, and I've got I made such a ghetto filter. It's actually my webcam on one of those rotating arms, and I took one of these pairs of solar glasses and I actually cut a little square out of it and taped it to the webcam. Works pretty good. I'm jealous. I'm jealous, Matthew, that you're down in Maine. I wish I was in Maine right now, man. I love prospecting in Maine. Coos Canyon is like one of my favorite places to go prospecting, man. That's awesome. Stay in touch. We'll have to, if I ever, next time, like I'll probably be down there late summer, early fall. I'd love to prospect with some of you guys. So if you're wondering what we're going to be doing today to I'm kind of just passing the time. Well, obviously the sun is the star of the show as it should be, but I've even got my little old-fashioned oil lantern out here. By the way, welcome to my house. This is my place, my backyard. I don't know if you can make out through the trees back there. That's where all my chickens and my livestock are. We stayed away from them, but yeah, should be an interesting experience. I'm curious. I don't know how much you guys can hear. If you can hear like the peeper frogs and stuff going off, but as it gets darker, I'm kind of curious as to what's going to happen. My dog is just inside the door over there. I was going to bring him out, but he'd be running around here getting tangled and everything. But if I have to bail because my dog starts freaking out during this thing, I apologize. I'll let you guys know. But hey, Stony buddy, how's it going? I'm just happy you stopped by, man. Awesome. Got to make the bucks, man. Feed the family. It's important. Matthew, if you're south of the canyon, I could definitely pick you up along the way if we go out sometime. And I do have, I communicate with Wes and Tom all the time. Love those guys. We have plans to meet up. I'm actually going to meet them in New Hampshire this year as well for the prospectors meetup. But yeah, we can definitely hook something up. That's been the best part of, my channel's small. I only just started it. Really, I only started posting videos frequently at the end of November, but the community is just absolutely awesome. Should probably get this old-fashioned lantern lit if I can. If I explode myself live on stream, tell my dog I love him. There we go. Good times. Good times. I love this thing. I've had this thing since I was 15, so like maybe 10 years. But yeah, I love my old-fashioned lantern. I take that camping. I take that bullhead fishing. Love it. Hey, tinfoil, my metal detecting buddies here. Lieutenant Immelman, all the way from Germany. Hey, buddy. This is actually handy having this tablet, so I'll be able. I am going to have to get up now and again to adjust the camera to kind of make sure that the sun is where it needs to be. I mean, to me, the interesting part, like I said, I want to see what all the animals are going to do. Beautiful day. I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but it's in Celsius. It's 18 degrees Celsius, man. It's really warm out here. So yeah, as I was saying, the current plan, we're just kind of messing around. I've got these concentrates. These are sluice concentrates from my last time out. And I like to go outside. You guys might have seen it in some of my videos, and I'll actually melt off, burn them with the camp stove, melt off all the water. And I've got my magnet with me here to get the black sands out of it anyways. Figured since I'm outside for the stream, I'll kill two birds with one stone, or get two birds stoned at once, as the trailer park boys would say. But yeah, not much to do. I did, yeah, I should have. I'm not a smoker, by the way. I actually quit smoking many years ago. I started vaping, and first of all, it's not the manliest look for a prospector out on the river. But second of all, I don't think any of that stuff's good for you. But I did treat myself, every once in a while, I'll treat myself to a pack of cigars. And I figure if the world's coming to an end today, like all these weirdos are saying, I'm going to go out the way I lived, smoking a cigar in the backyard on my bucket. It's actually too bad because over there, but unfortunately it's in the direction of the sun, so I couldn't kind of turn the setup that way. But I've got a nice little duck pond that I borrowed an excavator and I dug out. It would have been a nice backdrop because there is a couple of wood ducks swimming around in the pond over there. But maybe in a future video I'll show you guys that. But it is just gorgeous, man. I could just sit out here all day. Plus, I don't have to work, so you know what? There's that. I've got an awesome boss, just so you guys are aware. I own my own business. Later, Careless. Hope to see you back. If not, enjoy your eclipse. Have a good life. $73 degrees. Yeah, that's probably it. That's probably about what it is out here. It is just fantastic. I'm getting a tan out here. I'm going to have a nice toque line right across my forehead. You a Sparky, Casey, digging a hole for an electrical service? Or you just dig holes? Either way, it's cool. Yeah, you got that right, tinfoil. It's so nice. I'll be out turkey hunting next week. The season opens on Monday, but I know the week after that, these black flies are going to hit like freaking murder out here. That really puts a damper in my prospecting and my outdoor adventures. I'll be doing maybe some pay dirt, and I'll figure something to do with that week, but it ain't going to be prospecting because I'm not standing out here getting the black flies out here will just absolutely carry you away, man. Hey, Charles F. from Michigan. How's it going? Love me some Michigan. Actually, my ex-wife, her uncle had a place down in Kalamazoo. It was awesome. I went down there. They had a little country house on a lake. It was gorgeous. I love Michigan. I went into the local corner store in Kalamazoo, Michigan. It's kind of like one of those general store type setups, and they had everything. And the sign out front said like pizza, smokes, beer, guns. It was like it was a redneck paradise, pretty much. I loved it. Yeah, Casey, being a Sparky is awesome. I tried to get my kid into it. My kid's taking business in college, and he's doing well. He's doing okay. But I really wanted him to take a trade because I think One thing I was in the military and I got my education through the military. I'm an industrial engineer. I went on my own. I got my Six Sigma black belt, a few other things. Um, and I now contract myself out to a lot of companies, mining companies, factories, warehouses, stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you're an electrician, if you really want down the line, you can write your own ticket, literally and figuratively. It's always nice to be able to have that thought in your head that, hey, if I ever get stuck, I can open my own business. And that's the nice thing about trades. Thomas from Alabama. We got Germany, Michigan, Alabama, Ohio, Maine. Place is rocking. And of course, right here in Buttlog Nowhere, Ontario. You guys, by the way, if you're interested, this is you're on Elon's internet right now. I have Starlink. It only cost me one arm and one leg and half a testicle, but it's like $160 a month for unlimited internet. But the nice thing is it's portable. I've got one of those tripod stands with the satellite and the motor. So technically speaking, I could take it anywhere. And I plan when I go prospecting this year down in Maine, and that when I have a campground or if I rent a cabin in New Hampshire, I can actually bring that little satellite with me and put it out on the deck and have full internet. Not that I like to be totally glued to online when I'm camping, but it'd be nice if I made some prospecting videos and stuff like that to at least be able to upload them and to check my mail and stuff like that. You know, it's always handy. Yeah, Michigan's awesome. Prospecting on the beach in Michigan is awesome. I plan to head down. Flower Gold Wizards is having a Patreon meetup. I'm not 100% sure if it is Lake Superior. I'm not 100% sure if it's Michigan or Wisconsin, but either way, I plan on going. Wisconsin's kind of, it's rough for me. That's a 14-hour drive, but I've been known to do that from time to time. My biggest problem is I love my dog. He'll star in some of my videos in the future, but I absolutely love my pooch. And I hate to put him in the kennel for a week to take a trip. That's the problem. So everywhere I go, I tend to bring him with me. So, you know, I do have a pickup. I've got a Dodge Ram quad cab. Puppers rides in the back. But, 14 hours is a long way, and stopping every 5 so he can get out and do his business. Kind of a pain in the butt, but you know what? It comes with the territory, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Absolutely love my dog. Yeah, that's absolutely right, Charles. Jason loves his Michigan. Talk about a guy that drives places with his dog. I mean, that guy. Every one of those beach mining videos you see Jason makes is a minimum 4 hour one-way drive. That guy gets up at like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning just to be on the beach at sunrise or 8 o'clock or so. Gets his gold, has a few cobbles and some meat sticks, and throws the doggy back in the truck and all the way back home to Wisconsin. And he lives in Abrams, so he's not even in totally like southern Wisconsin. He's way down there. Hey, Patriot Prospecting's in the house. Hey, buddy. Got a flock of crows flying over. It's a murder. There's 5 of them. If there's 2 of them, it'd be an attempted murder. ATC dad joke there. You can use that, boys. Tinfoil, that guy that you're talking about that does the gold videos on the beaches, chances are that's Flower Gold Wizards, Jason. He's a fantastic guy. Awesome. I own some of his, he built these smooth water sluice heads. I've had them in a couple of my videos. Man, those things are absolutely awesome. I've got a video coming up where I'm actually going to use it as part of a cleanup sluice. The thing is fantastic. The adjustability on the water flow is amazing. But yeah, Jason is a great guy. Great sense of humor, too. Jason posts a video every, I don't know, it's like every Saturday or Sunday, one of the two. And just a real natural guy. I know you get on YouTube, I mean, I've seen a lot of all y'all's channels. Most of us are just natural people. We just kind of have a sense of humor. We love doing what we do, and we love sharing our adventures. And Jason's got almost 70,000 subscribers, and he is just the same as any one of us. He's just such a nice, natural guy. I could watch that, you know. There's other prospectors. I mean, I know Dan Hurd's a little bit controversial. Dan Hurd's a really, really, really smart guy. But I personally, and again, this is a personal thing, I personally find Dan's videos, he's turned from less of a prospector into more of a YouTuber, which, you know what, if that's his gig and that's what he wants to do, that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's everybody's choice whether or not, you know, what they want to watch. I still watch Dan's videos, but I'm not as into them anymore. I don't know why that is. It just seems, you know, maybe it's the clickbaity uh, thumbnails. Uh, I don't know what it is. I mean, he's a good, like I said, he's a good guy, really, really smart. But I tend to gravitate towards channels that are more real, you know. Tinfoil Hat and I were on, I forget the guy's name, but he's a metal detector. And he does live streams, and he just kind of shoots the crap with the chat. And, you know, this week, actually, when I met Tinfoil, was the first time that I've ever been to his, one of his videos or live streams. And it's just so refreshing. That's why I like YouTube as opposed to, I watch way more YouTube than I watch television. And the reason for that is because people tend to be more natural, just natural people doing natural things and sharing their passions and their hobbies and stuff that they enjoy. And to me, that's the ticket. That's what I like to see. Jason loves his PBR. I love my PBR too. Actually, here it's PBR is hard to get in the tall cans here. I tend to drink Bush, but winter was rough on old ATC here, so I'm trying to lose a few pounds there. That prospecting pack of mine, when it's fully loaded, weighs almost 45 pounds. And hiking that bugger 3 kilometers through the bush takes its toll. So we're trying to get back into game shape. So we're getting there. Every winter's the same, but the older you get, the harder it is to shed those pounds, right? Yeah, Bush for the win, Charles. Yeah, tinfoil. If the guy doesn't show his face, that's not Jason. Jason shows himself all the time. He's actually on Patreon as well. I'm a member of his Patreon. And that's another thing. I'm not huge on all these channels that have stuff hidden behind Patreon. Jason's not like that at all. His Patreon members, it's more just to get into his lotteries and stuff. We do get like kind of first crack at his equipment and his pay dirts and stuff like that. But honestly, like you know, he doesn't hide anything behind Patreon, and that's something I like as well. Yeah, tinfoil is headed out to PEI to detect. I'd love to join you, but I don't think I'm free the first couple of weeks of June. I think I've got a contract up in Marathon, Ontario. So I'll probably be stuck in a mine for a couple of weeks at the beginning of June, but we'll see. I do have that spot. It was featured in one of my previous videos where I prospect in a gravel pit. I'm kind of anxious to get back there and bring my sluice. It was kind of a half-hearted attempt last time that we were there, but man, did I mention it's gorgeous out here? I could get lost, man. It's fantastic. Hopefully turkey hunting season is like that. That would be a huge bonus. Bugs wouldn't bother me today. This thing's full of citronella oil, so I can actually kind of smell it from here, getting a whiff every once in a while. Should fire my camp stove up, actually. Start boiling up some cons. Again, if I explode myself, tell my dog I love him. All right. Incident free. We are lit. Ugh. Grab a big old frying pan full of this stuff. Actually, interesting story about these cons. Last time I was panning, why I'm so eager to get them done, these were in the bottom of my oil change pan, and I actually dropped a small picker in here. So I know there's at least that piece laying around in there. It was one of those where I had my pan over it, and I had the pan tilted back, and I was using my air gun to dry out the gold, and the picker just rolled right out the bottom of the pan down into the water, into all this dirt. So work too hard for my gold to be losing it like that. Butterfingers, man. Butterfingers. There we go. We'll just let that simmer for a while. Dollar store frying pan for the win, boys. Yeah, I saw Jason's giveaway can. 100,000 subs is a ways off, but man, by the time he gets there, that can is going to be something else, boy. That guy, like, he does these videos, and he's panning out gold that Miskimo Sun sends him, right? And he gets, 8 grams, 5 grams. I've seen as much as an ounce. Like, where's that go? In the can. Like, holy smokes, man. By the time somebody gets that can, that thing's got a couple gold teeth rattling around in it now, actually. Crazy. So what time are we at? 2:35. So 40 minutes away from total darkness, apparently. Yeah, you might. I don't know if you guys can make that out. My cons are steaming pretty good. Good stuff. Got down here. I've actually got a lasagna pan, empty lasagna pan to pour them in, because I made the mistake one time of heating up my cons and pouring them right into a plastic gold pan. I don't know why it didn't end well. I got my Eclipse glasses here in my pocket. I don't know. I'm a little trepidatious, big word, but trepidatious about trusting my eyesight to something I got on Amazon, $16 for 10 of them. But What's the worst that could happen? Yeah, tinfoil. That's my curiosity as well. I don't know if you guys can make it out because I've got like a lapel mic thing going, but down in my duck pond, I can hear the peeper frogs going off. So I'm wondering, peeper frogs at night, they tend to get louder. I'm wondering if when the sun goes down, uh, well, I guess the sun's not actually going down, but when it gets covered and it gets dark out here, if they're going to start behaving like it's nighttime and start getting really, really loud. And you never know. I mean, my backyard, I've squirrels, turkeys, raccoons, God knows what can walk by. I had a coyote or two run across the pond this year one time when I was in the kitchen making supper, but give these bad boys a stir. Worst YouTube cooking channel ever. Or is it the best YouTube cooking channel ever? Hmm. Where's the lamb sauce? There we go. Nice thing about here with the eclipse going on is I don't have to worry at all about street lights because we don't have any. My nearest neighbor is a kilometer down the road that way, and the nearest paved road is about 2 kilometers down the road, maybe a little bit more, so about a mile and a half that way. So really in the middle of nowhere here. Charles, thumbs up, man. If I'm getting gold out of this thing, I'd rather have gold than fried eggs or something, whatever. I did get the barbecue out and cleaned it up the other day, though, so it'll be burgers for supper tonight. Lieutenant Immelman eating really low and slow on a pit grill, and it was absolutely fantastic. And then I got a boar, and I got all the paperwork, and I brought it back here, had it all butchered up and everything. And let's just say that it didn't taste anything like they made it in Texas. But I have a lot of it left because that was a trip I made this past year. I do plan to cook it low and slow. I've got one of those Pit Boss pellet barbecues. So I do plan to smoke it a bit and put some nice barbecue sauce on it like they did it. But I kind of tried it like a roast in the oven, and it was tougher than old shoe leather and tasted pretty gamey. So I think it needs some smoking and a little bit of love when you're cooking it. But when I had it in Texas, it was absolutely fantastic. I'll give you that much, that's for sure. It'd be nice if I was stirring these cons and that picker just kind of popped out on me. Although I would be tempted to run in and grab it with my bare hands, which probably would not be a good idea. This stuff gets pretty darn hot if you guys can't tell. There we go. It's amazing how much sand holds the dirt. Like, I know in the desert you have sand that's dry. The amount of sun and heat it takes to dry this stuff out. It's so thick. Like, I don't think you guys can make it out, but this has been sitting outside all morning and it's still really, really, really dark. Like, trying to get the water out of this stuff. But we'll do it by force. Power. Yeah, Lieutenant Immelman, you know you're welcome anytime. That'd be awesome. I think you'll find tinfoil, as far as metal detecting goes. A lot of us prospectors also metal detect because we're just into finding stuff. Careless Whisper dipped out. I know she's got her own Eclipse thing going on. I know she metal detects for sure. I'm actually glad that the sun is staying up in the picture at the top of the screen. I had this real worry that I was going to have to be getting up and down every 2 minutes to adjust the camera. But once you get it at the right height, you know, the sun is just kind of following the tree line. So that's awesome. It should be in a perfect trajectory to get the eclipse on camera. So far, I'm actually surprised my dog isn't acting weird. I thought he'd be acting weird all day. My dog, I've got a purebred beagle, and those things, he's too smart for his own good. But he knows when something is up long before I know when something's up. It's really, really strange, to be honest with you. When my dog starts acting weird, I know either something weird is going to happen or he's going to drop a deuce on the rug. One or the two, right? Because he's not feeling well. But no, my pup's name, for those of you that watch Flower Gold Wizards, coincidentally enough, I named my dog Rigby long before my dog. I've had him for it'll be 6 years this year. He'll be 6 years old. I named him. He's a deer hunting hound, so he runs deer for me up at my hunt camp, and I named him Rigby. Is the name of an elephant hunter. And Jason from Flower Gold Wizards actually named his dog Rigby for a completely different reason. But just out of curiosity, our dogs have the same name, and it's not all that common of a name. So maybe it's foreshadowing, and I'm going to get 70,000 subscribers too. Or maybe it's just coincidence we named our dog the same thing. Either way, I'm good. Hey, Stony, welcome back, pal. Lurking is better than nothing, buddy. If you're still there, Stony, just so you're aware, if you're we're cooking up some sluice cons today. It's the spécial du jour, as they say in French. Trying to get some black, dry them out. So I got my man here to get some of the black sand out of them. I had to start a new black sands jar this year. The last one's full. One of these days I'll do something with them, but for now I just keep collecting them and collecting them. Saw an episode of that hoarding show on Discovery Channel where this weird person was collecting jars of their own pee or something. So I think black sand is a much healthier thing to collect. But yeah, there's my jar I just started. Just started that this year. Doesn't take long to fill up, but yeah, lots of magnetics where I prospect. On the one hand, it kind of sucks to have so much magnetics where you prospect, but on the other hand, it's always nice because they always act as such a good indicator to tell you where the gold is, right? That's one thing on my equipment list that I want to get this year is one of those black sand probes. It's one of those, like, when you live in Canada, trying to get stuff shipped up is very expensive, but if you're paying, $40 for shipping, a lot of times it's $40 whether you order one thing or you order 5 things, right? Because they just put it in a box and it's $40 or $45. And so, those black sand probes are about $25, $26 US. I hate to spend $40 shipping to get a $26 item. So I'll just kind of wait till I need more prospecting stuff. And we'll go from there. Saving my pennies this year too for a good metal detector. I have my Fisher, which isn't too bad, but I'd like to get something capable of finding gold. The Equinox 900 is kind of calling my name, but man, that's like $1,400-1,500 Canadian. Woo. Yeah, I wasn't sure, Stony, how Washington was going to make out with the eclipse, but 20% isn't much. You wouldn't really notice it. I mean, I guess you'd see if you had the glasses on, you'd see a little sliver or something. I'm not sure. Tinfoil. Yeah, I saw that mine lab detector. I'd have to be on one of Dan Bird's claims, finding nuggets to justify buying that thing. And even then, you'd have to find a lot of nuggets to find 16 grand worth of gold, or 16 grand to buy a $16,000 detector. Woo! I did see that though. 16,000 bucks, man. I should be able to find gold buried in China from here, and dig it up for you, for that matter. Not to age myself, but my first used car when I joined the army was $1,500. So $16,000 for a metal detector seems just a little bit outrageous. All right, so there's one pano cons done. Compared to how dark it was, the handle's kind of warm. You can see it's a lot lighter than the stuff that's down in my oil change pan here. So we will dump that in the old lasagna pan and start a fresh batch. Oh, listen to that sizzle. All right, there we go. You don't want to put too much because, like I said, it takes forever for this stuff to dry out. The nice thing about keeping your cons in an oil change pan is anyone sufficiently talented at panning, I can actually pan in this thing. I've done it before. So what happens is you get all your cons out as best as you can with your spoon. You've always got that little bit left, and I'll add some water and jet dry it in there and just kind of swish it around and pan it. And I've actually pulled quite a bit of really, really fine gold out of here that way. These are cons that they've been dug up. They've been put through my gold hog sluice, but I haven't put them through a cleanup sluice yet. So that's kind of the purpose of drying them out. I'll take the magnetics out of them. I could put them directly through a cleanup sluice, but since I got the time and I'm outside today, I'm going to dry them out. Stony, check out Stoney's channel. Actually, if you're into prospecting, he's sponsored by DreamNet now. He's got a discount code, but I actually have a plan going forward. I got a speed controller. I've got my Flower Gold Wizard sluice head. I actually plan to hook my speed controller up, and just that little Dream Mat adventure sluice that I have has a 16-inch mat. I plan on putting the micro mat in it, and I want to try and use it as a cleanup sluice, because the cleanup sluice that I have one of those little gutter sluices, and it works great, but you're really feeding it really slow with a spoon. And I'll go on week-long prospecting trips where I'll come home with 2-3 buckets full of sluice cons, right? And putting that one tablespoon at a time through a cleanup sluice is really arduous. If I could actually maybe put it through the Dream Mat, even if I have to put it through twice to capture everything, be well worth my time if I could actually, because the Dream Mat obviously is big enough, I could put a small scoop on, right? The equivalent of maybe 8 to 10 tablespoons. I could really cut down on my processing time, because I don't mind feeding my cons into a cleanup sluice, but it's to find the time. That's the thing. A lot of times, because I own my own business, it's either go, go, go or stop, 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 right? And it's, by the time it gets to stop, 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 you got 15 things on the list to do. You don't always get to the fun stuff, right? So it'd be really nice to be able to cut my cleanup time down. Yeah, you can see the sun up there just kind of starting to get covered. The top right corner's got a little piece out of it. Kind of interesting. But I'm more interested in what happens at 3:15, 3:20 when it starts to get completely blacked out. Tinfoil, my live stream is, I don't know. So I started at 2. I've got no place to be. Definitely we're going to go through the Eclipse, which is at like 20 after 3. And probably we'll shut it down whenever there's really not much to see anymore and the sun kind of comes back out. If we don't have anything going on, I'll probably shut it down then. One thing you'll find about me and my YouTube channel, as much as, as a YouTuber, we all want our channels to be successful. But I find the guys that turn me off the most on YouTube, and the gals for that matter, are the ones that are desperate for the watch hours, right? I'd rather take my time, put out one video a week. That's why, usually for me, you'll see one video a week and maybe a short. Post on my community tab here and there. I'm not one of these guys that's going to keep a live stream going just to get views and watch hours. I truly believe that, you look at Jason from Flower Gold Wizards is a perfect example of that. If you're a genuine person and you just enjoy what you're doing, I think that comes across in your videos. I watch guys, there's some guys that I can watch right now that have been at this for years, and they've still only got like 200-300 subs. I mean, I'm not huge or anything, but I've only been at this really since the end of November, beginning of December, and I'm kicking on the door of 500. And it's not really about, but as I was saying, I look at some of these guys and I can see why, because every 2 minutes, please like, share, subscribe, do this, do that. Honestly, I look at a guy, like I said, Jason from Flower Gold Wizards, just be natural, and I truly believe that kind of stuff will come. And I hope it comes across in my videos that I really enjoy what I'm doing, right? I like to have a good time. The videos, as I mentioned earlier, I'm an industrial engineer. I enjoy my job, but it can be pretty vanilla at times. So making YouTube videos is a way for me to explore my creative side. I like the editing process. I like to introduce a few funny jokes. My last video, me versus Mr. Beast. It was just a funny I enjoy those things, funny concepts, stuff like that. I like to have a good time. So to me, that's really what it's about. That and sitting on my bucket in the backyard smoking cigars. There's that too. How's that sun looking? I'll get up in a few minutes and I'll move that camera over to center the sun, but I thought this view would be a little bit different for everybody. I know everyone's, you can have multiple tabs. There's going to be tons of channels out there that just have the sun in the middle of the screen, but be kind of interesting with the light going to see the background and see everything kind of fade. And I agree with Tinfoil. I'm really interested to see how the animals act, how the peeper frogs go and stuff like that. Hey, Chris, how's it going, pal? Stony, what about you? Honestly, man, I enjoy your videos. Stoney's, Stony and I think anyway, we have kind of the same approach, right? I mean, he's just, Stoney will fire up a live stream from his backyard prospecting gold, and he's like, same as me. 15 people will show up, and he's happy, right? What's going on right now. I've had, I don't know how many are watching right now. Let's take a quick look. You know, yeah. So we got 9 people watching right now. We had 14 earlier. It is the middle of a solar eclipse. People might have it right outside their door, and they don't want to see this redneck sitting on a bucket showing his eclipse. But you know, uh, that's what it's all about. Stony, you're, like I said, you're a really natural guy, and that's kind of the stuff that I like. Like gold is where you find it. Aaron is where I met a lot of you guys, and for the most part, Aaron's a natural guy. He's very concerned about his subscribers and his YouTube, and he has a lot of them. But he's still fairly natural. You know, if it ever gets to the point where he's not, well, I probably still watch him, but I wouldn't be as enthused with it, right? And I mentioned earlier that's kind of the way I am with Dan Hurd. It's like become all about the clickbaity stuff and the YouTubing and and he appeared in that Mr. Beast video, and it was just kind of, dude, have some respect for yourself, man. You got 1.27 million subscribers yourself, then you're in this standing there in the middle of the pond with Mr. Beast in the background looking confused, right? It's kind of like, you know, if I had 1.27 million subscribers, you could know for damn sure I'd be doing my own thing. And it would have it'd be pretty nice. Would have been nice if Mr. Beast would have at least given the guy a mention, but he didn't, right? I laughed at that Mr. Beast video. I mean, I have, as I mentioned in my video, I've got a lot of respect for Mr. Beast, and that's because he's actually used his channel to do a lot of good things. And a lot of people say, well, it's all about the views and et cetera. And maybe it is, but at the end of the day, the ends justify the means, right? I mean, this guy's built wells in Africa. He's helped out orphanages. So he's done a lot of good with his channel. So there's nothing wrong with that. But his video of last guy to take his hand off the Lamborghini wins it. That kind of stuff's not really for me. That's not natural. I prefer to watch natural stuff. Sunburn, moonburn, prospecting. There you go, Careless. David's in Minnesota. I always wanted to go to Minnesota. I don't know why. I just haven't spent any real time in kind of that area, right? Like that part of the U.S. The U.S. is very, very much like Canada. Like I've traveled all over the U.S. and from east to west, the culture just differs so much, right? Especially in the U.S. when you start getting south. Louisiana is absolutely one of my favorite places I've been. People there are just so friendly. It reminded me of Newfoundland in Canada. Is very much like Louisiana. Just friendly, friendly people. Yeah, so you can kind of see the sun is It looks like it's coming. If you're watching the stream, I always hate being in front of the camera. I can never tell my right from my left. But over my left shoulder, you have the sun. And over the sun's left shoulder kind of looks like that's where the moon is coming in from. See, I went right to my right hand there. Yeah, I'm not noticing up where I am tinfoil any real, maybe a little darkness. It looks a little weird. I don't know if you guys can make it out on the. Yeah, it definitely looks. It looks like it's about. If the sun now goes down around 7:30, 8 o'clock, it looks like it's about 7 o'clock here. How many Scotsmen does it take to change a light bulb? I'm of Scottish ancestry, pal, so be careful how you answer that. But yeah, I can take a joke. Go ahead. Already almost full there. Wow, careless. It's 3:03 here, so we've got about another 20 minutes till it's full. But yeah, you could definitely see that moon coming over the sun. You can see it. That's neat. I should put my eclipse glasses on and take a look, right? Bit too busy jibber jabbering. Not too often out here I have people other than my dog as an audience, so you guys will have to bear with me. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, awesome. So the camera on my live stream actually looks like it's kind of got it upside down. I should probably flip that. Ah, what the hell's the difference? The moon's going to cover the sun whether it comes from one side or the other. Who really cares, right? Should put my hand over the lens, make sure it's still recording. There you go. We'll cover the lens a little. Just turn that a bit. It's kind of hanging out. Make sure that, because I've got a delay obviously here, so I want to make sure that that camera adjustment I made doesn't screw everything up. Picked a hell of a time to test this out. I don't know if my camera's doing anything. That's a hell of a time to find that out. Let me mess with my camera settings here for a minute. Good thing I checked. Unnecessary close-up. Good thing I checked it. Problem is I can't restart the stream because it's going to boot everybody off, including me. All right, it is running. Cool. All right. There we go. Back to the bucket. Yeah, it's definitely strange out here. You can see it's just kind of getting a weird kind of darkness. It's almost eerie. And now I looked up at the sun and I can't see chat anymore, but that's okay. Adjust that camera. Make a dad noise and adjust the camera, he says. There we go. Yeah, I don't know if OBS is picking up my camera properly, but really, honestly, I'm way more interested in what it looks like outside. I should look at the sun though and see how it's looking. Yeah, this is really kind of eerie. Oh yeah, sun's about 2/3 covered. It's not showing up well on my camera at all, but that's okay. There's lots of channels on YouTube just staring at the sun that you can pull up in the corner anyways, but should probably check my cons too while they're cooking away here. Not being very attentive. Oh yeah, that batch is done. Next. These multiple camera setups are kind of hard when you're streaming. It's a lot running at the same time. I've got a pretty decent laptop too, but between that and running YouTube, running OPS, 2 cameras, she's a strain. There we go. Batch number 3 on the cooker. Hey, Scotland, how's it going, pal? That's exactly what it looks like, tinfoil. It actually looks like the sun is setting. Meanwhile, it's way, way right up there in the middle of the sky. Very strange. You can even see like my camera kind of compensates for stuff, like my laptop camera. You can even see that I look really, really pale. And I know I haven't got a tan yet. It's too early in the year, but um, yeah, stuff's looking weird for sure. Ooh, I actually see a very, very tiny piece of gold sitting on top of the cons there. That's a good sign. It's not that picker that I lost in there, but it's a tiny piece of gold nonetheless. Hey, high water prospecting, how are you? Michigan. Oh man, this is weird. The further out I look, the weirder it looks. So yeah, I don't know if the feed to OBS from my camera stopped or what, but really the coolest part is what's happening around me. Like, wow. Yeah, I would say right now the sun is about 65% covered. I do have my phone on me. I could put my glasses over the. I'll probably take a picture whenever it hits totality, but spooky. So far, no change in the animals yet, though. Well, Aaron's going to be streaming in 2 hours. I'll join you guys for that for sure. Got that picker underneath the football stadium, and the guy can't stop going back. And you know what? I can't blame him. That's a pretty nice picker he got there. The old concentrates are just steaming away. Can you guys? I don't know if you guys can hear those peeper frogs at all. Let me know if you hear the frogs in the background. Yeah, I missed Aaron's stream this weekend. He had his daughter, so he hopped on for a little bit, but didn't do too much. Honestly, as a moderator on Aaron's stream, that place is getting kind of wild, man. Some of the folks that come crawling into there. I was going to stream this as one of those vertical streams, would it certainly potentially help my watch hours, but you know what? Once in a lifetime event, I could find something else to stream that way. 3:16. We should be getting close to totality. Still fairly bright outside though. Oh yeah, I would say we are at about, I don't know, 80%. Definitely starting to get really dark here. I thought as we got a lot closer, it would get darker a lot quicker. Like you could definitely tell the difference. But I thought by now it would be almost pitch black because, like I said, 80% of the sun is blocked out. So, so the camera, yeah, Chris, that's definitely right. The camera will try and adjust to the darkness, but in theory, it should get dark enough that it just won't be able to, right? Like, I mean, if you have your web camera or your laptop camera in your basement with the lights out or whatever, if you've ever tried to take a picture with your phone in a dark environment, it gets to a point where it can't adjust anymore, and it should certainly get to that point. Or look like I'm sitting around a campfire with my little lantern going here. It is freaky though. It is definitely eerie. Being out like this in the middle of nature, it just, I don't know. I'm an avid outdoorsman between prospecting and fishing and hunting. I'm used to being outside, when the sun's going down and staying out till last light, right? But this is something I would say is completely different. I know you guys can't hear it because my mic will be filtering it out, but there has been so many crows flying overhead. It's crazy. Hey, Redman, how's it going? Yeah, I can see now. Like I'm watching myself on the tablet. Like I said, I've got a little delay. I could see my camera kind of take a quick look and see where we are. But yeah, it's about 90%. There's like a sliver of the little, like a fingernail of the sun left. Well, so much for the apocalypse. Anyway, a lot of places have already had it, and I don't hear anything on the any amber alerts or crazy alerts, emergency alerts on my phone. So I think we're all going to be okay, boys. Definitely getting really dark out here. It's really, really cool. I don't know how you guys, my camera's still kind of adjusting, but you could tell the sun is directly above, like if I look this way, the sun is directly above my face, and you could see it's definitely getting much, much darker around here. Yeah, we're almost there. 90, 95, somewhere in there. 95%. I don't know. Another 5 minutes. But there's not much light coming around that for sure. Wow. This is really, really spooky. It's kind of at a point now where the sun is covering, the moon is covering so much of the sun that that every maybe every 30 seconds I can notice it getting a little bit darker. Still haven't seen my picker yet in these cons. Probably won't. Probably got covered. Oh yeah, it's definitely. Now we're getting to it. Holy smokes, that's dark. Wow. The weirdest thing is it's getting dark, but the sky is still like blue. And I know my camera is compensating, but I'm having a little bit of trouble seeing my cons here as I'm scooping them into the frying pan. Oh, there it goes. Just a little tiny sliver of the sun left now. That's neat. Holy smokes, it's dark out here though. Let's see if I can take a picture with my phone here. So that compensated as well, but see if you guys can see it. Yeah, the camera, even my phone camera compensated, so. But it is getting pretty dark. Little on the nutso side. And just now, I know you guys probably can't hear it, the peeper frogs are starting up in the background. The tiniest, tiniest sliver of sun left. Almost at totality. Yeah, about 2 minutes. I wish you guys could make out what's around me better. I don't know how to make my camera not adjust, but yeah, you can definitely see how the camera's adjusting. It's kind of neat. You can see where it's dark and Yeah, I hear you, Chris, but that's if you're taking a pic of the sun. These glasses are so dark. I will take a pic of the sun, though. That's a great idea. You're all right, Chris. See if I get this on the right lens here. Yeah, there we go. I'll show you guys real quick. You can only make it out just in the very top left corner here. That's a little tiny sliver of the sun that's left for us. Wow. Freaky. Still a tiny, tiny sliver left. Well, it's a darn good thing I had that lantern now, isn't it? I actually think I think it's actually starting to get a little bit brighter out. I think it just passed over. I think we're just starting to, yeah, definitely just starting to get a little bit brighter out. We got a plane over here spreading its contrails everywhere. That's a little freaky. Yeah, that's still pretty neat though. Definitely a neat experience. I mean, I'm not no astrology nerd, just a different kind of nerd. But yeah, definitely neat. People will say, "Where were you when the eclipse, the great eclipse of 2024? Where were you?" People will say, "Oh, I was on the beach overlooking the ocean." And oh, I remember I was working, but we went outside and I saw it over the top of the skyscrapers. Old ATC here will say, "I was in my backyard on a bucket." You guys tell it all when it's starting to get a bit brighter? Yeah. Good timing too. It was my last batch of sluice cons. And I even see a little bit of flour gold in the bottom of my oil change pan here. We will do the old oil change pan panning method and pan that out. Still freaky though. What's hard to imagine is half an hour from now, it's just going to look like it looked 2 hours ago. It's going to be bright and sunny, and then the sun's going to go ahead and it's going to set, right? So it's going to almost kind of have to do the same thing all over again. Although it's a very different look. The sunset is a very different look than what we just went through with the eclipse for sure. Watching you. That's all right. I'll take the watch hours. Creepy or not, I don't care. Redman traveled to Texas from Illinois to see the eclipse. That's a crazy travel, isn't it? I'm not really, as much as we make fun of Americans for their lack of geography knowledge, I'm not, uh, I'm not really up to date either. I just fly places. Hey, troubled one. You just missed it. My camera up top's kind of not. It's frozen. I got too many windows running at once between YouTube and OBS, and two cameras and a lapel microphone and stuff. But it did get wickedly dark around here, and you can go back and it's kind of funky. You can see my camera like adjusting to the different light. Kroger's was empty. What were you looking for at Kroger's? Ah, sister lives in Texas. My sister lives just south of here or north of here in Ottawa. So it's not really much of a getaway for me to go to her place. Plus, she can't cook worth a shit, and I always end up cooking anyway, so I'd rather just stay here. Either way, it was an absolutely fantastic day to be outside, let me tell you. Thoroughly enjoyed this. Troubled one. It's funny you say that. Like, I'm a hunter, so I always have a freezer full of wild game. I have a garden. I can vegetables every year. I've actually got livestock. You can't really make out, but over my left shoulder here, um, maybe about 100 yards back, is my chicken coop and my livestock are there. But typically, if I'm working a gig locally, I live what they call it living European, and I'm like, I'll be at work and geez, what do you want for supper tonight? I feel like steak, so I'll go to a place that sells good steaks and I'll pick that up, and the makings of a Caesar salad or whatever. I live that way too. I mean, I do have every once in a while I'll crave or I'll want some wild game or to make a nice venison roast or something. But other than that, I tend to live European as well. I prefer it. Always having your vegetables fresh and having what you want on hand. Also, I hate crowds, so the idea of me going out and spending an hour and a half, 2 hours, going from store to store doing grocery orders, just really not my thing. I like people, but just in limited doses. See you later, Chris. Carne asada sounds good. Send some this way, pal. See how we're doing. It's funny, it got so dark. The sun is still like 75% blocked, like it's heading the other way. But it was so dark there for a while. It almost feels like a regular day. And I know it's nowhere near that right now, but your eyes, just like my camera, kind of adjust to everything. Kind of neat. Yeah, the downfall with this 70-degree weather, though, I am starting to see a few bugs here and there. No black flies, obviously, yet or anything like that, so it's not bad, but just lets you know it's coming, right? It's just beautiful out here. Later, Stony. Nice seeing you, pal. Oh, David, you had snow. We had that 2 days ago. We got 8 inches of freaking snow. And then the next day it went up to like 12 degrees and then 13 the next day. And luckily it melted everything, which is good. It's actually extended my flood gold season, which is awesome. I'm with you, troubled one. It really hurt. Like, you've got staples, like everybody's got to have, canned goods, rice, stuff like that. I'll buy, cheese or cheese slices and stuff like that. And I'll put some in the freezer for later. And it's like kind of every once in a while, you just got to go out and do that run. And I'm single. I have 2 kids. I have my kids here all the time. My oldest, when he's not in school, lives with me. Um, so, I've got that, he's, 19 right now. So they both have that teenager appetite. So I have all the crap that you put in the cupboard that disappears over the weekend. Swear to God, I mean, I pay for that kid. He's in school, and he comes down for the weekend and he spends half of it with his girlfriend, which is normal. And when I do see him, I only see his back half, like his arse sticking out the back of the fridge. And then he leaves and half my food's gone. But yeah, I always do. It's painful to go out and do that big order where you got to restock everything. Even if like I shop at Costco, and even then you go in, like you said, man, it's $200-300 easy. And on top of what I buy, like we said earlier, every day, going out every day and shopping, it's like, holy smokes. How people work like a regular minimum wage job anymore and survive is like beyond me. I'm lucky, the house we're in now, I bought my land. Um, I won't talk figures what my house is worth, but well, I built my house 18 years ago, almost 20 years ago, actually. Yeah, 19 years ago. And I paid 1/3 of what it would go for now. It's absolutely crazy. But I do tell you, if I didn't have kids, then my house is a fairly decent size, 3 bedrooms, sunroom, living room, full unfinished basement. If I had it to do again, I'd have bought. I mean, I have a decent amount of land, and I've got a nice hunt camp with 65 acres. But if I had it to do all over again, I would have like a ranch. I'd have poured a cement slab, and I'd have like a huge cabin type thing. Even one of a friend of mine has one of those steel garage buildings, and he actually lives in there. And that thing is awesome. He's got a wood stove in it. He's got a loft bedroom, and he had them come in and he did all the polished concrete for a floor on the main level, and that thing cost him next to nothing, house wise. Natural gas heater, and he absolutely loves it. And it's a really really cool spot on a really really nice piece of land. I'd probably do something like that, because I'm not the kind of person that's too worried about resale value or anything like that. Like, I'll probably stay here until I can't be here anymore, which is hopefully a long ways away. Yeah, 8.50 an hour. I mean, minimum wages is higher here, up here in Ontario, Canada, but the cost of living is really really high here. So I don't know. I'll give you an example. So this house is on. So I have acreage It's actually one lot over from me, and I have two lots on this side. And each lot is 5 acres. And 18 years ago, I bought 5 acres of land for $25,000 Canadian. And a lot here in the country on this road, and this is not serviced. I've got no sewer. I'm on septic, no street lights, anything like that. And a lot around here goes for about 115K now for a 5 acre lot, which is, to me, is absolutely crazy. I didn't pay that for my first house. We'll take a look and see where the sun's at now. Yeah, it's still 2/3 blocked, but it's much brighter out here. I actually pictured it getting pitch black, but apparently, like I said, I'm not much of an astronomy nerd, so apparently there's always just enough of the sun to keep things somewhat lit up. Very, very cool. Definitely something that was worth experiencing. Just being able to sit out here in nature and hear everything. Like the peeper frogs got a bit louder, and the crows were flying just before the sun, the moon got to the full eclipse. Hearing the crows flying over in flocks was a bit crazy. Yeah, it's definitely tinfoil getting better now. Sunglasses are sunglasses will do the trick. I still don't want to look straight up at the sun, but even with the glasses on, the sun's about 50% blocked now. Yeah, Redman, that really sucks. If you work something that I mean, it's good that our countries have disability, but you know, if I something happened to me tomorrow where I couldn't work, with the cost of living nowadays, I mean, I own my place now, but even then, I wouldn't be afford. I don't think I'd be able to afford the upkeep. Everything is expensive. Um, you know, I live in the sticks and I drive a big V8 pickup truck, a Ram with a 357 Hemi in it, and the gas is absolutely outrageous. Uh, oh, it's terrible. Like you guys in the U.S., your gas prices, you think they've gone up under Biden? Holy smokes! Here in Canada, it's about $7.50 a gallon. Yeah, same tinfoil, and we were in the zone of totality, and it got really, really dark, but we were still able to see around pretty easily. I don't know that I would have wanted to be metal detecting in it. No way you'd see your targets in that, but nice, Careless. Glad you got some video and pictures. Definitely something to remember. I got the one pic with my phone. That was about it, but No, cool beans all around. It was just super nice being out in nature, eclipse or not, but the eclipse was cool. What was really weird was the sky almost looked like it turned a really dark blue, and the trees, everything really kind of popped. Everything stood out. The greenness of the grass, the trees, kind of like, especially the white birch, really popped, stood out, popped. Sound like I'm an interior designer over here. Says the guy sitting on a bucket. But yeah, things are starting to come back to life. Now the crows are actually flying back the other way. I don't know what's up with that. We had coyotes in the backyard last night. I was on a live stream and I had to on someone else's live stream, and I had to go out and see what was going on. The dog was going absolutely batshit, and I went out the back door and there was coyotes, probably maybe 100 yards back in the bush, just howling and acting stupid. But I went over and checked, and my chickens and everything was okay, so no worries there. Hey, Lawrence, no eclipse in South Carolina. I didn't actually track it. I was eclipse selfish. I only really cared what it was going to be like here, right? Since that's where my bucket is. And now stuff's starting to come back to life. I can hear a woodpecker going at it over here. Crazy the last couple of days how much the trees are starting to bud. Luckily, I don't suffer from seasonal allergies except for in the fall. In the fall, I help out on a few farms running combines and cutting corn, and I'm heavy into the reactant in the fall because that drives my sinuses crazy. But this time of year, I'm not too bad. I know some people have it worse. I think Careless was saying she just got over a sinus infection. That's no fun. Turn down the cons. I think they're pretty much done. And I just turned my, I don't know if you guys can see that. I just turned my cons over. Can't make this up. You guys saw me do it live. See if I can get a picture. There is a nice little piece of gold sitting on top of my cons. Do like the other prospecting dudes do. Put it into like 100 times zoom. I can't even find it now. It's there. I'm looking at it. I can't see it through my phone. Man, these bad boys are hot. Woo! In a good way. Let me see if I can put something here. Government hasn't fully stuck their hands in my pockets yet. I still got a dime I can drop. I disturbed it. There. So there, it's just above the dime. Nah, that's not going to turn out. Oh well. I'm going to pan them all out in a video sooner or later, anyways. That would have been cool prospecting out in this. That's what I was going to do, but there is no cell service anywhere near any of my prospecting areas. Tinfoil, tonight is hamburger night. Man, I think whenever the stream is done shortly, I'll probably shut her down in about 10 minutes. But I'm going to clean this stuff up, and then I'm going to plunk my bucket in the garage and sit back and have a nice cold beer and relax and enjoy this day. It is awesome out here. The panning can wait for another day. Ow. Holy smokes, that dime heated up quick. Ouch. All right, we won't be transferring those cons anytime soon. Woo! Doggy. That'll make a blooper reel somewhere. Woo! I'll turn this out, take that dime out so it doesn't. Oh, geez, I want to pan this out. Get that dime out of here so it doesn't melt through the bottom of my oil change pan. I'd hate to have to spend another $6 on Amazon to get a new one. I'll actually put that back in there to let it cool. Dang it, that was hot. Have I detected the backyard yet? No, I haven't detected my backyard. If there's anything back here, it'd be stuff that I dropped, because when I built this house about 18, 20 years ago, you can kind of make it up where my land kind of rolls downhill. We actually brought in fill from elsewhere. I guess I don't know where that fill came from. Could have something in it. I don't know. But no, also I don't really feel like digging up my backyard. You'll see on my metal detecting video that's coming shortly. I don't know if I'm going to get it done anytime soon, because next week is turkey hunting and then black fly season starts. But about 2 kilometers down the road, this whole area used to be full of apple orchards. And there used to be workers here, and there's an old homestead with a beautiful, what do you call that, where you keep the horses? I can't think of it. There's a barn, and then you have the horses stay in the paddocks. There's a really nice paddocks with a beautiful old homestead. I'm going to go down there. It's from the early 1800s. I'm going to go down and detect it. What happened here is, back in the day in Apple Hill, which is the closest village, they built a railroad, and everyone started working for the railroad because they made more money doing that than they made out of their apple orchards. So all the apple orchards got overgrown. But if you go in the back corner of my property, there's about 15, 20 apple trees that I was able to recover that are from the old orchard. But I'm going to go down the road. It's, like I said, about 2-3 kilometers and head in and detect that homestead. Should be a long, probably going to be a 3-part video, one for the barn, one for the paddocks, and one for around the homestead. But should be pretty cool. You never know what you can find in those old places. That's my favorite kind of detecting, is for relics and stuff like that. Old buttons and horseshoes and belt buckles and stuff like that. You never know what you can find in those places. Later, Redman. All right, guys. Those of you that are leaving, thanks for coming out. Enjoyed having you. Like I said, I'm going to shut her down in another 3 or 4 minutes. Take a look. I think this thing's pretty much ready to stick a fork in anyways. Yeah, the sun's still about, I don't know, 20% blocked, but yeah, obviously you can't see a difference out here. I certainly can't. I don't know what the UV rating was today, but I'm certainly getting a tan and working on my sleeve and toque line. Very important. Anybody wants fashion tips, you just let old ATC know. I'll send you to someone competent. Hey, John R. Yeah, we just went through the eclipse. It's pretty cool. Got pretty dark around here. You'd be interested. I'm not picking them up again because I burnt my hand last time, but on my camp stove going, I was boiling up some cons take the magnetics out of it. I should run a magnet through it. I got my magnet here. They are hot. I'll take the plastic off. I got my magnet. We'll see if we got any. This will help spread it out too. Oh yeah, some really good magnetics in there. I'll have to clean it. And I picked my dime up, of course. But yeah, that's why I dried them out. I can get all those magnetics out of them. My prospecting area has tons of magnetics in it. I'm glad I took that plastic cap off. Be a pain in the butt to peel them off the magnet later, but at least, at the very least, I didn't melt my plastic cap. Will do, tin foil. Adult diapers. That'd be some merch. Depends. Featuring ATC. You see the squirrels are starting to come back to life. The little red squirrels. I can hear them chirping in the cedars in the background. Gotta love magnetics. You know what, John? I think all us prospectors have a love-hate relationship with magnetics. They're a real pain in the ass to deal with, but at the same time, they definitely show you where the gold is when you're out. So it's 50-50. Not a big fan of too much magnetics in my pay dirt, though, mind you. Like I've done all those challenge bags. I did GNS's challenge bag. I did actually 2 of GNS's challenge bags. I did Clash Impossible. Um, you know, then did GNS Washington Beach. Lots of black sand in that. That was my absolute favorite pay dirt of all time. GNS Washington Beach. I absolutely love that stuff. I saw John R on the stream last night had big ass jug of Coyote Creek, which kind of made me drool. That's my second favorite pay dirt. But the Washington Beach is my favorite. I'd love to have, maybe for, like 1,000 subscriber special if I get there or what have you. I'd have Mike make me up a great big jug of that because I just absolutely love that stuff. I got as much of it I could out of it panning. Then I ran it through my sluice and found some more. Then I ran it through my sluice again and found a little bit more. And then I panned it out. It's always nice to me when a bag of pay dirt, you really get your money's worth. When it takes you hours to pan it out. Like there's a lot of pay dirts out there. I did GNS Australian pay dirt was good. The Alaskan Golden Garnets was the one I was thinking of. It was an enjoyable pay dirt. It was different with all those garnets in it, but the gold was all mostly big and chunky. And honestly, I did it for a video, but at the end of the day, I could have panned that whole great big 3-pound bag. I could have probably panned that out if I wasn't making a video in probably half an hour. I even went through all the fines because I couldn't believe there was like no fines in the bag. I prefer pay dirt to give you a little bit of a challenge and you get your money's worth, right? So I'll let you guys in on a secret since there's very few of you still watching. But when I do a pay dirt video, I'm always very very strict on giving the vendor a fair shake, right? So what you see on camera is about 75% of the process because I will actually, so my oil pan that I use is my panning station. I will actually take this thing before I do a pay dirt. I will wash every last speck and crumb out of it. And off camera, when I'm done with the panning section of my video, I will actually go through and meticulously pan through the entire thing again, just to make sure I get everything. So when I publish a weight that this is what I got from a vendor, I'm confident that I'm giving them a fair shake. And there's some really good vendors out there, and there's some really poor vendors. Some of those eBay guys I've done, holy smokes, they were bad. GNS is always fantastic. But what I will say about GNS is they're always right at that gram. I've done Miskimo Suns. I've got a video up coming on one of theirs as well. Yukon Alley, for example. BC Gold Adventures I've done. And a lot of times you'll get a 1 gram guaranteed bag and you'll get like 1.2 grams. With Gold Nugget sales, I think because Mike is a gold vendor and a broker, not to criticize his product, he has the best dirt out there. Like if you want an authentic experience from a certain area, Mike's definitely got the stuff. But at the same time, you're getting, if he says a gram, you're getting like at the most 1.1, 1.05, 1.0, you're not going to get that 1.2 gram bag that you'll get from a few other vendors. I haven't done Vendetta on my channel, but I've done his bags before, and he's very much the same. You get a 1 gram bag from Vendetta, you can get sometimes that 1.1, 1.2 grams. Yeah, I agree, John. If I had to pick one pay dirt vendor for the rest of my life and only do one, it would be GNS. Just because you always get your guarantee, obviously. His customer service and shipping is awesome, and his variety of authenticity of his dirt. I did the one. It wasn't one of my favorite dirts I've ever done, but I did the one. What was it? The Colorado one that came from a gravel pit, and it was a very challenging pan because it's gravel pit gravel, and it goes through a rock crusher, and the stuff was flat, and the gold was authentic from that area as well. Like it was chunky. It hadn't been in a river. Really, really neat stuff. But yeah, you're absolutely right. You have to, if you're going to review something, you got to make sure that you're getting all that gold out of it, even if you don't show it all on the camera. Because I tend to like to try and keep my videos down in length, no more than 10, 15 minutes, because, you just lose everybody's attention anyways. I mean, if you yourself, John, have a YouTube channel where you review dirts, and I've seen them. But you go into your analytics and you look at your video after it's published and people have watched it. You see the most replayed, and it's the starting, then it dips past your intro, then it's you opening the bag, and then it dips, and then it's you panning through the gold, which kind of goes up, and then it dips, and then everyone tunes in to see the gold and the ROI, right? So making an hour-long, 2-hour-long video of me panning pay dirt isn't really worth it, because people only watch about 10% of it if it's that long, right? I've taken two. I've got 2 bags of Miskimo Suns on hand. I'm going to do. I'm actually taking to running the sluice a lot more. And I think I'm going to, rather than just having me panning in the videos, I'm going to use the sluice a lot more often, because that really, really speeds up the process. But again, the sluice misses stuff. No sluice is perfect, right? So again, you're still going to be off camera panning out that last little tiny bit. Wonder if this thing's over yet. You can't tell anymore from the. It's not over. The sun's still got a little bit of the moon covering it. Wonder what the full moon's going to look like tonight. Assuming it's a full moon. That's beautiful. Would have been a great day for prospecting, actually. Hey, Wesley, we're pretty much done here. It's on the back half. Probably, like I said, the sun's about 20% covered. It already got dark. It was kind of weird watching myself on stream. my laptop camera, trying to adjust to the darkness. It was really kind of neat, actually. I was going to go in and stop the camera to keep it. I think there's a setting you can put so your camera doesn't adjust, but I left it as it is because it was really kind of different. How am I getting condensation inside my black sands jar? That won't do. All right, guys. Well, we've been at this for about 2 hours. I want to thank those of you that are still here and still kicking around. I want to thank everybody for joining. It was a good time. I really enjoyed it. It's not too often. This is my first live on the channel. It's nice to talk to some of the regulars and to have met everybody. Be able to talk in real time. I'm going to get my fancy dried out sluice cons here. Hopefully they're cooled down enough. I'll get them ready, get the magnetics out of them, move my bucket into the shop and sit there and 5 o'clock. It's got to be 5 o'clock somewhere anyways. Crack a nice cold one and enjoy the rest of the day. Again, I want to thank all of you that came and joined me on the stream. I enjoyed it. It was a good time. We're going to just shut her down for now. Cheers and